Hey, what is up, you sexy beasts? GhostSickness or Tristan here, and today I'm telling you guys a hilarious story about my first and last time at prom. Now, this is one of the last my first, and the reason I say that is because, dude, I'm running out of my first to do, man. I've done them all, and if they're not in the my first series, they're in the childhood story series. And yeah, so I'm going to start with how I asked her to prom, and I'm going to talk about prom day. So both are actually pretty great and pretty hilarious, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you guys have any more ideas for my first series, leave them in the comment section below. I'm really excited to hear ones that I have not done potentially, and yeah, I've probably done most of them on my channel somewhere. But anyway, I'm gonna get right into it. So 8 days before prom, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna ask this girl out, and so I called 9 days before prom. And so I called the restaurant the day before I went there, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to ask this girl to prom, and this was not the girl, I'm dating her now, but I was not dating her at the time. We were just friends with benefits, having a good time, and I was like, okay, well, I want to take this girl to prom. So I kind of tested to see if she wanted to go to prom with me by kind of texting her about it and kind of asking her out by text. Now, obviously, I'm more of a gentleman than that, and obviously, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, she was not impressed with how I asked her that way, and I just wanted to make sure before I did something crazy and awesome, which I didn't do anything too crazy, too awesome, just something kind of cute. I didn't go balls out, but anyway, it was still pretty great. So before I did anything too crazy, that she would say yes. You know, you don't want to waste your time and money on a girl that's just going to say no. So anyway, I usually know what I'm doing before I do stuff like that. But anyway, so I call the restaurant, and I'm like, okay, so I was wondering if you guys could do me a favor. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, so I'm coming in tomorrow at dinner, and I was wondering if you guys could help me out. So I want to ask this girl to prom. When we order dessert, when the dessert comes out, can you guys write prom ? In fudge or chocolate or whatever? She's like, yeah, absolutely, we can do that. I'm working tomorrow night, and so just see me, just tell me your name. And so I tell her my name, and she's like, okay, well, just tell me your name when you get there, and I'll let the, the kitchen know that you're there and what to do with the dessert. And so I'm like, all right, well, that sounds good. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. And so she told me her name, which I ended up forgetting, which is actually pretty, it comes in part of the story. So anyway, we get there, and I forgot her name. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm here with my, she's now my girlfriend, so I'm just going to call her my girlfriend, but she wasn't my girlfriend at the time. It really doesn't matter. Whatever. It wouldn't have made a difference. So anyway, I call her, and no, I don't call her. I'm there in the restaurant, and I'm with her. I'm like, hey, it's Tristan, by the way, because I totally forgot her name. I wanted to say her first name, but I totally forgot what it was. I thought I had it, and then I just totally lost it. So I'm like, hey, it's Tristan, and I just prayed that she got what I was saying, and she would let the kitchen know, because up until that point, man, I was still with her. She was right there, so I couldn't have told her, like, hey, you got that dessert special, if you know what I'm saying, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Like, I didn't want to make it too obvious, and my girlfriend did not actually think anything of it. At the time, she just thought it was kind of weird that I would just be like, hey, what's up? It's Tristan, just some random girl who was our waitress. So I was like, anyway, yeah, so I did that, and I hear her whispering to the other girl who ended up being our waitress, because she was just one of the server people at the front, and then the other girl was our waitress. So she ended up telling her, and then telling the kitchen as well. So that ended up working out. So, we have our meal or whatever. We get our dessert, and it comes out with prom ? This is what it looks like. It looked great, and the fudge was delicious. We added it to it was actually gelato. It was not a fudge sundae. It was just gelato with a whole bunch of chocolate and vanilla and fudge. Oh my God, it was insane, dude. We tried to eat it all, but we just couldn't. It was a lot. So yeah, that was great, and that went really well, and then I ended up tipping like 50% because they did a really great job, and I was really glad that they did that for me, and it was no big deal. So anyway, prom day comes, which is 8 days after this day, and I'm like, all right, sweet, we're going to prom. So I go to work, I get off work, I asked to get off work, I got off work at like 5, and prom started at 8, and it went till 11, so I'm like, all right, well, I got off work, and I got all ready. I got in my suit and everything like that. I have a custom suit. Not a custom suit. It's from Men's Warehouse, but it fits me really well, and I got it, sized, and I got the slacks hemmed and everything like that. It fits great, looks great, and I posted pictures on Twitter. I'm not going to be showing you the pictures that my dad took of her and I, because she came over. My dad took pictures just because we, yeah, it shows both of our faces in it, and I'm not going to show her face in the video. But yeah, anyway, so we take pictures and everything like that. That's all good. And we get in my car, and we go to the same restaurant, and we meet my ex-girlfriend, which is her best friend, and my friend, because they were going together just as friends or whatever. And so we sit at the actual same table that I asked her to prom 8 days before. Same restaurant, same table, but I was just one seat to the right. The seat she was sitting in when we got the fudge sundae and everything like that. So I thought that was actually pretty hilarious. But, you know, 4 of us at one table, we're just chilling, eating our food. And but while we were waiting for our food, some older lady comes over and she talks to us about what's going on. She's like, hey, what are you guys all fancy for? Because you get a whole bunch of looks when you're walking around with a nice looking girl and you're in a suit and she's in a dress. So yeah, you get a whole bunch of looks. And even if it weren't prom night, I would still get looks doing that because, you know, yeah, but done that before. So anyway, we're sitting there and she comes up and she starts, you know, talking to us. And I assume she's just being friendly, just being nice. And this ends up coming into play later, which I thought was really awesome. So, you know, we're just chilling. She's like, hey, what school do you guys go to? You know, what's going on? We're like, yeah, we're going to prom. It's our senior prom. We're all going. It's pretty cool. And she's like, all right, well, awesome. Thank you so much, or whatever. She's like, all right, well, have a good night. And so we get our food and enjoy it. It was absolutely great. And we ended up getting that same gelato sundae, but there was 4 of us. And so we ended up finishing it. Mostly my friend and I ended up finishing it. And that was freaking delicious. But dude, with all that extra fudge in there, like it was when I asked her to prom, it was just unfinishable, man. Way too much sugar. I was done. I was overloaded. But I ate all my food. It was great. And so after we finish our food, we're all stressing about the bill. We're like, shit, man, how are we going to split this? It's really not that big of a deal because, you know, I don't care. But we're like, oh, okay, man, what are you going to do? I have cash. I have this much, whatever. You know, do we want to split it 4 cards? Do we want to just do 2? Because I was going to pay for my girlfriend's food. And I'm like, all right, well, it's no big deal. So we're stressing about that and trying to figure that out. And it's getting all complicated. Then the waitress comes over and tells us that it's been paid for. So we don't know or not if it was that lady or some other family or another couple or someone else, but we assume it was that lady who came over and talked to us, which I thought was really, really cool. It's like a $50 tab, and she just totally paid for it, and I thought that was absolutely awesome. So that's why it came into play later, and that's why I mentioned it to her, because usually a girl coming up and talking to you is not that big of a deal, but for this to happen, man, for somebody to pay it forward like that, I just find that absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to return the favor. But yeah, we still have to tip in cash and stuff like that. I ended up tipping a reasonable amount just so it added up. And so, yeah, man, because I don't know if the person who paid my tab tipped or not. I assume they did, but you never know. And so I assumed I would just still tip because they gave us great food and great service. And so, yeah. So then we split up again, and I take her, and we go to 7-Eleven for gum. Dude, I was like, oh my God, there was so much garlic in this fucking pasta, and I just want some gum. I want to feel fresh for tonight. And so, yeah. So prom lasted 8 to 11, but we ended up getting there around 8:30. Now, our car was valeted, and what that means is that people take your car and they go park it for you or whatever. And yeah, that's what having your car valeted means. So the teachers and the staff of the school, this comes up later. Okay, my stuff froze. But anyway, the teachers and staff of the school ended up being the car valets. And so, you know, I give them my keys and they go take my car. I was like, whatever, dude, it's not that big of a deal. We're up at some bigger place and they had like this huge like lake or pond. I don't know which one it was. I'm imagining it was a pond out back. But anyway, that comes into play later also. Yeah, so we get our gum, we go there, and we check in our bags. She actually checked in stuff. I didn't check in anything because I had a suit, and so why the fuck not? And it was pretty hot, actually, in the building, but outside felt amazing. It was literally the perfect temperature. Like, wasn't too cold, but it wasn't too hot. It was just fantastic, so I really liked going outside. So her and I, you know, kind of walked around. We saw everybody. We just hung out, chilled, didn't do too much dancing or whatever because there's a whole bunch of loud music playing, and there's a, you know, big dance floor, and everyone's just dancing and hanging out, having a good time. The dancing just got crazier and crazier as the night went on, more and more grinding and stuff like that. The teachers really did not give a fuck. They usually care about students grinding, but it's prom. They really didn't care. So, yeah, we walk around and we're hanging out outside, inside, seeing people, talking to people, socializing. And it was okay. It really wasn't great, but it was okay. And, you know, we kiss outside a little bit. And this is where something funny happened. So while we were outside, it was pretty cold. This guy I knew went down to the restricted area. So they had, it was at like a restaurant lodge place. Like, I don't really know what to call it, but it was a pretty great place. And there was, and there were still people there and from, you know, businesses. And then there was our school there. And so they had certain areas of the place sectioned off. And so they didn't want you to go downstairs on the patio or whatever and near the lake/pond or whatever the fuck it was. So we're like, okay, well, whatever. And we ended up going down there later to kind of just chill and cuddle a little bit and look at the stars, which I thought that was pretty great. That was a lot of fun just going down there and talking to her. And then she got cold because she was wearing a dress and I was wearing a suit. So I was nice and warm, but she got cold. So we went back inside. But anyway, So what happened while we were outside upstairs, this guy lifts this the thing and then goes downstairs, and he ends up going swimming in this pond slash lake in a suit. Yes, after he gets out, he comes, so we're still outside or whatever, you know, he took like 5-10 minutes, and he comes back soaking wet, dude. No towels, anything like that. Still had his phone in his pocket and everything, so he took that out. Some friends met up with him. They're like, oh shit, man, whatever. And he's like, oh man, I have my phone on me and everything like that. I'm like, why did you do that? He's like, I don't know, it was kind of hot. I was kind of bored. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. So I don't think he had a date with him at the time, but I thought that was pretty great. And it was basically the craziest thing that happened at this prom. There were no fights. There were no anything like that. Not that I heard of or knew about, or not that I saw. So, I mean, that was kind of lame. But, yeah, what can you do? It's prom. People are chill. People are with their girls and or their guys, whatever, you know. Just having a good time. So, nothing crazy really happened except for him going swimming. And he ended up getting he got like a 2-day not a suspension, but a detention for horseplay. That's literally what they wrote on it. Because I knew this guy and he showed it to me. I'm like, what the fuck is that shit? That's so dumb. And yeah, for horseplay at prom. So like I said, later her and I went down there and we just hung out. And then the principal, or not the principal, the vice principal, he came out and he kind of gave us the finger, and he like talked to us. He's like, oh, you're not supposed to be down there. And at first I played stupid. I'm like, oh, what? Oh, we weren't supposed to be down there? He's like, yeah. And he's like, was this there when you went down there? The things that blocking you from going down there, you just have to lift and go under. I'm like, yeah, they were there. And so I kind of just confessed to it. I'm like, you know, whatever. I can't get out of this. Doesn't matter. It's really not that big of a deal. We were just down in an area where we shouldn't have been. So that happened. And then we go inside, and I dance for a bit, but she's not really interested in dancing. She doesn't dance, and so, you know, she barely did anything, and I'm like, okay, well, we just hung out, and she was just laughing at me while I was dancing, having a good time, and we drank water, hung out with people we knew, you know, didn't take many pictures, but just saw a whole bunch of people, and like, what the fuck, you're with who? And then, what? Who was doing what? And it was interesting seeing the people that were together, that you didn't know were together, or just whatever. So, we do that, and then was like, okay, so it's about 10:30ish, and it's time to go. She's exhausted. She wants to go home, and, you know, she's really turned on at this point, and so am I. And, you know, we just kind of had it, and we just wanted to go home. So it's been a long day, and we're like, all right, well, we'll leave prom slightly early. It's really not that big of a deal. We saw and did everything, so it wasn't too much of a loss. So we're waiting in line to get the bags removed, you know, get her bags and then go home. So, you know, I had her purse and wallet and everything important and stuff, so we can't just leave without it. And so we get back in line and we're waiting for it, and they can't find it, dude. They don't know where the hell it is, and they don't know what they're doing. And so I think she ends up going back there and finding it in some other person's spot. Like, what the hell were they doing back there? So it takes them, you know, like 10-15 minutes to get our stuff, and she finally gets it, and that's a relief, because I didn't want her to be like losing her stuff or have it, you know, be given to somebody else. That would really suck. But yeah. So then we went outside to get my car, and like I said, my car was valeted, and so I have a keyless entry, a key fob that was custom installed. So what it does is every time you start the car, it locks all the doors in the car, and they don't unlock until you take out the key, until you turn off the car. Right? So you turn off the car and then remove the key, and then the door's unlocked. So, right? It's like a safety thing, whatever. I really like it, and it's cool. So my custom key fob, she didn't know that. And so the problem is with my door. For some reason, my door has to only be electronically unlocked. I mean, I can use the key, but from the inside, the little actual door movement thing doesn't work. You can move it, but it does not unlock the door. So anyway, like I said, the teachers were the valets, and so she pulls up, this, you know, this very short teacher pulls up in my car, and I'm like, my baby. And so her and I were finally ready to go home and, you know, have sex or whatever, just hang out, have a good time. So we were really excited. We were really anxious to go home. So she pulls up in my car, and we're just waiting there, and I can see her through the window because we're kind of waiting. I'm on the right side of my car, and you can see it pull up like right in front of me, if that makes sense. Like at a hotel, like it pulls up right in front of me, kind of like that. And I see her, and I'm like, okay, well, she hasn't gotten out of the car yet. What the hell's going on? And so I see her kind of like struggling to get out of the car. She can't get out of the car because, like I said, the door lock does not work unless you use the electronic lock on the door panel for the driver's side door from the inside. So she did not know that, obviously, my custom key fob locks all the doors or whatever. And so I'm like, oh fuck, she's locked in my car. And I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So I walk over, all the way over to the other side of my car, and I'm like, I motion her to roll down the window. She rolls down the window. I'm like, you gotta use the electronic lock. She's like, oh yeah, it's an older car, it must be broken. I'm like, well yeah, but you gotta use, you don't understand, just don't worry, I'm not even gonna explain this to you. To her, and I'm like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal, so just press this button on the right. And she keeps locking it and locking it again, pressing it on the left. I'm like, no, press it on the right. And so she presses it on the right and then unlocks all the doors, and then she finally gets out. She's like, oh god, you know, just kind of done with it. And also something I thought was funny is while we were waiting for my car, this guy's getting his car valeted, and like I said, one teacher per car, right? Getting the car back to the person, and it totally made sense, right? But two teachers, two teachers that I actually had ended up getting one person's car. It was like a classic 1960s or 1970s car. Really, really nice. Well done. Like, it's all wax, and it's just absolutely perfect. Like, custom, and just, not custom, but like completely refurbished, and it just looked really, really good. Like, people had been working on this car for a really long time. And so two teachers actually went to get the valet. They valeted the car, and it was totally unnecessary. So he's just taking it for a joyride, which we thought was hilarious, and we kind of laughed about when they both got out. I'm like, was that necessary? And so people start cracking up. But it's like, anyway, because there was a lot of people waiting for their cars. Now, so we get in my car finally after the teacher was locked in, and then we start heading home. Dude, holy shit, she could not keep her hands off me. We were both at each other. It was insane. I'm like, okay, I gotta focus on driving because we gotta get home safe, and so we can have a good time. So the original plan was that my parents weren't supposed to be home, but my dad got sick, and so he didn't feel like going on the trip with my stepmom, and so he was home. And so he told me I could have her over, she could sleep over, whatever. It was not a big deal as long as I didn't wake him up, so I didn't want to be too loud. So anyway, we get home, and we're just at each other, dude. We could not get each other's clothes off fast enough. We have sex. I'm not really going to go into detail about that. It's not that important. It's just sex, guys. But it's pretty great. Then we're like, okay, well, we're exhausted, and it's late, and it was just, that was great. So you know what better to do than order fucking Domino's? So they delivered to my house, and whenever we ordered Domino's, so what we did was, I wasn't really hungry. Like, I had a big dinner. I wasn't really hungry, so she just ordered a cheese pizza, and we ordered lava cakes. Now, we always get lava cakes, guys. Lava cakes are basically the pinnacle of Domino's, and if you get them with icing, oh my god, they are amazing. Basically, they are chocolate and fudge-filled cakes that you put icing over, and they're just fantastic. So, guys, if you haven't tried them, please try them. They're just great. Those are the staple of her and I's relationship. We always get lava cakes, man. When we order Domino's and we order pizza, because we're just that way. So it's whatever. It's great. It's unhealthy. I recognize that, but it's awesome. So we ordered that. We ate that. You know, she had pizza. We had lava cakes. I didn't have any pizza. I wasn't really hungry. Then she slept over, and we slept like complete shit, guys. I just cannot sleep with someone else in the same bed. It's absolutely really, really difficult. I've tried it before with a different girl, and you know, that was almost 2 years ago. But anyway, I've tried it before, and it's really not that easy because you want to do certain positions or whatever, and they're in your way, and you're like, fuck. You know, I have a twin bed, as you guys could see in my vlogs, and it's right behind me, and so it just did not work. We woke up a whole bunch of times, but it was just really great. Oh, we showered also together, and it was like, it was just really great having her over that night also, just like the night I lost my virginity. And trust me, we've hung out a lot, and it's great. And so anyway, so we're dating right now, and that's that. But yep, I just wanted to tell you guys a story about my first prom. This story went on way longer than I thought it would, but it was an epic day. It was an epic night. I'm really glad I asked her to prom the way I did, and that went really well, and it was just a fun time all the way around. It's insane that my tab got paid for, and that guy went swimming. Man, it was a great night. I really hope you guys enjoyed the story. Do not forget to smash that fucking like button. Remember the fact that I love you guys, and please leave me ideas for more of my first. Stay sexy, and let's hit 800 likes. Bye.